The castle of Hogwarts was shrouded in the comforting darkness of night. The sun had sunk behind the horizon hours ago, and a blanket of twinkling stars stretched over the enchanted ceiling of the great hall. In Gryffindor Tower, the common room was deserted, except for the flickering light of the fireplace that danced across the wooden floors, casting long shadows on the walls. Harry Potter sat near the fireplace, a parchment and quill on the table in front of him. He was jotting down the last notes for his upcoming defense against the dark arts assignment. Ron Weasley was sprawled on a chair nearby, snoring softly, a half-open book on his lap. Hermione Granger was deeply engrossed in a thick tome titled Magical Herbs and Fungi of the British Isles. Harry looked up and sighed. It had been a long day of classes, and the weight of his eyelids was becoming harder to resist. "Hermione, how much longer are you planning to read?" Harry asked, stifling a yawn. "Just a few more minutes, Harry," Hermione replied without lifting her eyes from her book. "This chapter on Pods is really fascinating." Ron muttered something unintelligible in his sleep and shifted in his chair. Harry stared into the flames and felt a sense of yearning. He wished for a peaceful night of rest, without the recurring nightmares that had haunted him for so long. As if reading his thoughts, Hermione finally closed her book and said, "All right, let's call it a night. Even our brains need rest." As they prepared to head up to their dormitories, Harry felt a sudden pull, a whisper of curiosity that beckoned him toward something unknown. He hesitated, glancing toward the portrait hole. "Do you ever wonder," Harry started, "what secrets Hogwarts still keeps from us?" Hermione grinned. "Always. But it's dangerous to wander around at night, you know." Ron woke up just in time to join the conversation. "Wandering around? Are we going on another adventure?" Harry chuckled. "Well, I suppose a little exploration won't hurt. Just one quick look around, and then we'll go to bed. Promise." Agreeing to the plan, they donned their invisibility cloaks and made their way out of the Gryffindor common room. As they crept along the darkened hallways, the castle seemed to breathe around them, its ancient walls whispering secrets in a language too old to understand. After avoiding Mrs. Norris and Filch by a hair's breadth, they found themselves on the 5th floor, standing in front of a tapestry that depicted Barnabas the barmaid being clubbed by trolls. "Of all places, why are we here?" Ron asked, scratching his head. Harry looked around. The corridor was empty, and yet he felt the pull even stronger now. "I don't know, but something is calling me." As if in response, a portion of the wall to the right shimmered and transformed, revealing a door adorned with celestial patterns. Stars, moons, and dreamy clouds were intricately etched into the wood, glowing faintly in the darkness. Hermione gasped. "I've read about magical rooms that appear when you most need them. This must be one of them." Gathering their courage, they opened the door and stepped inside. The room was bathed in a soft, silvery light, and a serene atmosphere enveloped them. There were plush armchairs, canopied beds with velvet curtains, and a gentle melody in the air that seemed to emanate from the very walls. "Wow, this is something else," Ron said, dropping onto one of the armchairs. It adjusted itself, reclining slightly to achieve maximum comfort. Hermione sat down next to him and sighed deeply. "I've never felt more relaxed. This room is like a sanctuary." Harry, too, felt an overwhelming sense of peace. He lay down on one of the beds, and the softness of the mattress seemed to embrace him, easing away the tension from his muscles. And then they heard it, a soft, melodious voice that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. "Welcome, young wizards, to the room of slumber. Here, your weary hearts shall find the rest they seek. Close your eyes and let go. Sweet dreams await you in the arms of sleep." They looked at each other, their eyes widening in amazement and gratitude. One by one, they lay down in the beds that seemed to be crafted just for them, the perfect density of pillows cradling their heads. As they closed their eyes, the melody continued to play, now joined by the soft lull of a harp and the distant sound of nightingales. The tension melted from their bodies, their minds grew quiet, and they slipped into a restorative, dreamless sleep, the kind they had never experienced before, even in the safest corners of their beloved castle. Just when they thought the night would be entirely peaceful, a sudden chime broke through the calming melody, like a single, discordant note in a beautiful symphony. They sat up, their eyes meeting in the dim light. "What was that?" Ron asked, his face puzzled. "It sounded like a call," Hermione theorized, clutching a blanket around her. Harry stood, feeling the pull once more, but this time it was different, urgent, and compelling. "I think we need to go." The room seemed to understand, and the celestial patterns on the door shone brighter, almost urging them on. They donned their invisibility cloaks once more and stepped back into the corridor. They didn't have to wander far. A hidden staircase spiraled down to a lower floor, its entrance becoming visible as they approached. Without exchanging words, they descended. The stairs led them to an unfamiliar, cobweb-laced room filled with towering shelves of ancient scrolls and books. "Hermione, I think you're going to faint," Ron quipped, seeing her eyes widen at the sight of the rare tomes. Ignoring Ron, Hermione picked up a scroll and unrolled it cautiously. Her eyes scanned through the arcane symbols. "This is old, very old. It talks about a realm of forgotten dreams, a place where unfulfilled dreams and thoughts are stored." "Sounds like a place we should investigate," Harry said, picking up an old, dusty book that jumped into his hands as if willing to be read. They spent the next hour reading, engrossed in the lore of dreams and the many secrets that still lay within Hogwarts. Just when they thought they had found something, some clue to what they were being led to, a flash of light burst from the center of the room. A floating, glowing orb appeared, pulsating softly like a heartbeat. "I think we're supposed to follow it," said Hermione, staring mesmerized. "Better than staying here and becoming part of the furniture," Ron added. And so, led by the enigmatic orb, they navigated their way through secret passages and traps until they reached a door unlike any they'd seen before. It was translucent, almost ethereal, and seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly light. Harry reached out and touched it. The door swung open silently, revealing an iridescent space that defied description. It looked like a dream, filled with floating islands, nebulous clouds, and streams of light flowing like rivers. "Is this their realm of forgotten dreams?" Hermione wondered out loud. "Only one way to find out," said Harry. And with that, they took a collective breath and stepped into the unknown, forever curious about the many secrets that Hogwarts, their mystical and unpredictable home, held within its ancient walls. And so their night's adventure came to an end, not with a conclusion, but with an ellipsis, a pause in a lifelong tale of wonder and magic.